Welcome back to American Textbook Reading. I'm Ryan Sturritt, and today we're going to learn about weather and climate. Today is a very special lesson because we're going to learn about weather. Not just sunny, windy, cloudy, or rainy, or maybe stormy, but we're going to learn about lightning, we're going to learn about storms, we're going to learn about just like snowy, we can learn about stormy, we're going to learn sunny, or we're going to learn hot. Just like weather and climate, are you hot? Or are you hot? Or are you cold? Are you hot or are you cold? And now, as you know, let's begin with the vocabulary section. The first word in the vocabulary section is climate. What is climate? Climate is actually the weather of some type of place for a long period of time. A long period of time. A long period of time is called a climate. A long period of time is called a climate. Climate. A climate is actually a climate. This is a climate, and as you know, this climate, we have sunny, we have lightning, we have snowy, we have droughts. So these are some climates. So those are called climates. The next word is weather report. What is weather report? Weather report is actually the thing that you watch on your TV. I'll lift up the TV, put it into the living room, turn on the TV. After some hard work, I watch the weather report. So these are climates and weather report. The third word is lightning. Lightning. What is lightning? Lightning is electricity in the sky. Electricity in the sky? Who turned on the light switch? Well, actually, there aren't any light switches in the sky. So, as you know, when it is cloudy, it's rainy, and then suddenly, and you hear boom, boom, boom. Something must have exploded when the lightning hits the ground. Suddenly you see red. That means it must have hit the tree. So you must be careful of lightning. Do you know why? In some videos, you can already see that there are 10 or 20 people that have been hit by lightning. It's true. It's not just filmed, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's very true. So, lightning is electricity in the sky. What about storm? Storm is a big climate. There is a big, a very big cloud. Suddenly, rain falls, lightning goes down, thunder boom, boom, boom. And then you see boom, boom, boom. And you see red. That means that's called a storm. A storm is actually a weather that is very bad. You could be hit by lightning if you were in a storm. So now, let's move on with the last vocabulary word. The last vocabulary word is fit. Something that is good to fit in you means fit. For example, I have my t-shirt. This is my t-shirt. Then I put on my t-shirt. It isn't too big. It isn't too small. It fits me. But there is also another type of fit. It means when you're exercising, your muscles grow big. Then you say, I keep fit. Just like Hulk keeps fit or Avengers keep fit. They always keep fit. Keeping fit means just to exercise, to eat good food, then your muscles will grow. So now, as you know, let's move on with the mini quiz. Weather climates. Today, we're gonna see the weather in California and the weather in Maine. So, in California, it is very hot and dry in the summer. People need warm air in buildings to keep warm, and they also need light clothes. I mean, cold air in buildings. It's so hot. Whew, now I'm so hot. I must be in California. Actually, I'm in Vietnam and it's very sunny. So you just see that I'm sweating. You might think I am in California, but actually I'm really in Vietnam. Some strange thing, isn't it? So now, as you know, let's move on with Maine. How is the weather in Maine? In Maine, it is cold, and also sometimes it is humid, but not really. Sometimes it's cold and humid. It's very cold in the winter. And what people need are buildings with warm air to keep warm and heavy jackets. I can't move! I can't move! You can't move with your heavy jackets. Sometimes if your jackets are too heavy, you can fall. Just like when you have a very heavy jacket, suddenly it's too heavy on your belly and then you fall. If it's too heavy, you fall. If it's too heavy on your back, my head so hurt. So now, as you know, let's see the weather in Chicago and in Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., the summers are hot and humid, and the winters are cold. In Chicago, the winters are mid, and also in the summer it is hot and humid, just like Washington, D.C. So now let's move on with some questions. Are you hungry? Let's eat up the answers. Let's eat up the answers. If you're hungry, then eat up the answers. And then you will get more answers. So the first one, the first question is something that is the weather for a long period of time. What is it? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you know, it's climates. Now let's look at the answer for the next question. Something that predicts how the weather will become. So let's count down from 15, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you know the answer? As you know, the answer is weather report. 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 So now let's see if you understand this. Something that is hot, that can create fires that is yellow and comes from the sky. What is it? As you know, it's lightning. Lightning are beams of light. If I put this piece of paper under a streak of lightning, the streak of lightning will hit the piece of paper. The next day, when the storm disappears, I go out to see how my piece of paper was going, and I see that it has turned into terrible ash. So I was so scared and didn't want to tell my mom. So, now, as you know, let's just move on with our next question. Our last question is actually something very hard. Something that is rain, that is clouds, that is lightning, that is water, that has trees, that burns trees, that is fire, that is everything. What is it? So maybe you got the right guess. The right guess is storm. It has water, it has rain, it has lightning, it has storms, it has clouds, it has everything. Everything that relies onto darkness. So now, I hope you learned a lot in the vocabulary section. Let's take a short break and come back and we'll do the speaking section. So, don't go away. So, welcome back everybody. Now, we're gonna talk about the speaking section. Our speaking section is about weather and climate. So, are you ready? Let's get started. So now I'll give you a hint about our section. The hint is actually something that you must do. So you must read along with me in your mind, or if maybe you can read with me out loud if you want, or in your mind if you're in a private place. So you can practice the pronunciation and focus on the vocabulary words we learned so far. So I hope you collect some more vocabulary words. So let's begin. Weather and climate. Weather is just like something that changes all day. It changes all day from night to day. So it changes from night to day. So what does climate mean? Climate is the weather in a place that lasts for a long period of time. This has differences in our daily lives. So, in some states in America, they're warm and hot. To learn more about weather changing, we can learn about the weather forecast. What is the weather forecast? The weather forecast is something that you watch in the TV. It will show you what weather it is. So, if you watch the weather forecast, sometimes the weather forecast says that there will be a giant storm with lightning activity that was heading for the west coast of the US. So, what does lightning mean? Lightning means electricity in the sky. Who turned on the light switch? As you know, I turned on the light switch. I am a scientific teacher and I turned on the light switch in the sky so there could be thunder. Thunder is very loud. Thunder. very loud thunder. Very loud thunder. Thunder is actually very loud. Very loud. It's very loud. Thunder is loud. Lightning is also loud. Just like when lightning hits a tree, boom! When lightning hits you, when lightning hits wood, when lightning hits paper, when lightning hits the TV, boom! And it explodes. Just like that's an easy way to make a bomb. You just need to place the TV outside. When a lightning bolt has struck the TV, then suddenly, boom! The TV explodes if you don't need it anymore. So now, as you know, let's see what other things does the weather forecast hold. Sometimes the weather forecast tells us that there is a chance of snow. Sometimes the weather forecast tells us that there is a chance of snow. Sometimes the weather forecast tells us that there is a chance of snow. There's a chance of snow in Maine. When it snows in Maine, children in Maine come out actually to play. So now let's do the speaking section questions. The first speaking section question. How does lightning make the TV explode? Very easy question. You just need to place the TV outside and then lightning will hit it and then it might explode if it's still working. So now let's move on to the next question. The weather report is something that you can hear to when there is a storm. True or false? As you know, false. In a storm, there's thunder. When it's sunny, then there will be the weather forecast. So now, as you know, let's just move on with the third question. Lightning is a flash of light that makes things burn. True or false? As you know, it's false. One day, actually, my house or maybe another part of my apartment was struck by lightning, and then just like the pan exploded and then lights went off all of our houses. Maybe that's true. So now, as you know, let's just keep moving on. Now we're gonna move on with the last question. The last question is about climates and storms. When a storm hits a climate, what does it mean? True or false? That's a very funny question. So if a storm hits a climate, what does it mean? A storm is a climate. It's not a climate and a climate, so that's definitely false. So now, that's our lesson for today. So I hope you learned a lot in this lesson, and see you next time. Take care, everybody, and see you next lesson.